touch, and I know I'm gonna stay for always.
Well, how are you this morning, Bob?
You kicked me out of bed. You know how I'm doing. You just kicked me out of bed like 10 minutes ago.
The Matrix Unveiled will be on in a few. He's like us, running a little behind, just like everybody. Who's ever watching it right now, I know the show is supposed to be on Friday, but what happened was I went to the appointment in the morning on Friday, and I thought it was 8 a.m. And then when I went inside the appointment, they said, no, your appointment is not till 11. So I'm like, 11? How did that change? So I had to move the show to Saturday. So I apologize if you weren't, people were expecting this on Friday. So that was me. Somehow, there's the Matrix. Hey, Matrix Unveiled. I'm just telling people I apologize for yesterday. Like I said, when I went to the appointment at 8 a.m., they said, your appointment's not till 11. I was like, 11? I could have sworn it was 8, but somehow it was at 11. So Matrix Unveiled said, no problem. We can do it on Saturday. So it's going to be a shorter show today, which I'm fine. That'd be great.
Me too.
What was any fan man saying? Excuses. Listen, seriously, how often have I ever rescheduled a show just like that? This is my first time, so it was not made up.
I forgot too. I forgot. He just kicked me out of bed. Like, he just kicked me out of bed. Like, what? What appointment? Well, you had an appointment. We're gonna do it today. Well, that's 10 minutes, man.
Is it the mammogram?
Yeah.
So, guys, what's interesting, and I wanted to bring this up with you guys to see what your thought process is. I don't know why. Sometimes I do some weird research, but I did this weird research on what age group kind of believes in a certain community more than other age groups. I was just curious, right? So I looked into Mandela Effect, Flat Earth, Matrix, and Paranormal. I was just curious, is there a percentage?
It has to be my age group, like 20-year-olds.
Right. The first one I looked into is Paranormal. Paranormal is looked at through all ages. And that makes sense, right? That makes sense. All ages, kind of. Young people, want to get scared. Middle people want to get killed. Everybody believes in the paranormal. But when you look into the Matrix community, average is between 20 to 30. Kind of interesting. High percentage, 20 to 30. Now, when I looked into Mandela Effect is actually percentage is highest between 35 and up.
Makes sense.
And then Flat Earth percentage was age more, even higher, like 40 and up. So it was kind of interesting just to see what's the percentage of the average age getting into something. But going to you guys, you think maybe in some ways that we're all kind of looking at the same thing? It's just because we're in a different age group. Like Mandela Effect might sound sexier as a Matrix versus, what do you guys think of that? What I just told you about the age groups, does that mean anything to you guys?
It does, man. It's the words, dude. It's about the words. It's just fucking apples and oranges when it comes to the words. So I mean, it's like the Bible with vagina. We don't say vagina in the Bible anymore. We say matrix. She opened up her matrix, and we were born from
That's
her matrix.
True.
It's all in the fucking Bible, man. You got how many times matrix is in the Bible? A lot. Go ahead, dude.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'll find my books. You guys keep talking.
I remember when Bob and them said that like 3 weeks. I'm like, the Matrix, the word Matrix is in the Bible?
A lot.
And one of them actually showed that it is in the Bible. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize the word Matrix gone back that far. I thought, it's kind of a more of a generation thing.
That sounds like a Mandela effect because I remember someone talking about that like on a Mandela effect video. So there's no way that's like legit.
I was just asleep right behind him. I got the good book.
So, but one thing what you said was interesting is because what I think is that everybody, after a certain amount of time, they start to question their reality. They start to say, "Is this world everything that there is? Like, is this all that exists?" And so that happens between different ages, but they find anomalies within the matrix, whether it be the Mandela effect, whether it be something paranormal, whether it be something that they can't explain with science or with their logical mind. They find these kinds of weird anomalies, and then they say there's something up here, and they start doing research. So, usually that happens for some people in teenage years. They find something weird if they're not totally programmed by the system. But then if that doesn't happen in their teenage years or their 20s, then when they get older, after they've made a lot of money, after they've started to build their finances, then they start to wonder, well, is this it? What about God? What about the universe? It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And it shows first is survival, then is care and comfort, then is relationships, and then finally is transcendence. And transcendence is at the top of the pyramid, and it's all about transcending the matrix. It's all about transcending consciousness and asking yourself the bigger questions. What is God? What is the universe? Who am I? What is my place in this universe? How do I grow? And so there's stages to that. But different people reach those points at different times. And it could be something as simple as just seeing a ghost one time when you're out with your friends. That sparks this entire curiosity within your mind that makes you have to reevaluate all your scientific concepts of the world that show you that, oh, I'm not actually in this physical world. This is a hologram. This is something different. So that's my take.
Makes sense? That's a good one.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it makes sense. Actually, it does make sense. Well, you're giving information. To use your kind of analogy, it's like a big ass video game, dude.
Exactly.
You get a download. Yeah, it's just call it a download.
Yes.
I'll be chilling in the room and I'll be doing absolutely nothing of worth. And for some reason, there'll be a particular show that just pops on at the right time. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like some kind of professor talking about the missing something. And all of a sudden it's relevant to you. Like 100% relevant.
Yeah,
or you're watching it.
So true.
And it's just kind of like you're eating popcorn, just watching and going brainlessly. But then about a day to 2 days later, you and I have a conversation. I go, hey, wait a minute. I just saw that on I know all about the certain matrix thing you were talking about because it gave me a download. Like in the physical world, not like you're sitting here with a machine, you're going, zzz, I just got a download. No, you got a physical download by looking at it. It was like it came to you at that one time. Or you run across some weird person who told you, hey, I got a chip behind my eye, but forget about that. Let me tell you about this new conspiracy is going around. You're like, oh, this fucking whack job. But you listen to it, and then again, a year later, you're like, hey, wait a minute. That weird old guy told me all about that Matrix thing. Now I know that's what you're talking about. Yeah. You get download from weird places. From you don't even know where it comes from sometimes.
That's true. It comes from the Akashic Records or the ether, which is just like all of the information. It's like a web. It's like a library. We're connected to the universal computer. And so there's information streaming all the time. You can connect to it. But think about it like this. So when Mario eats a mushroom, what happens? He gets a power up. He gets an upgrade. When you eat the mushroom here, the psychedelic mushroom, what happens? You get a power up. You get an upgrade. Your consciousness evolves. So it's the same concept. This is a video game.
So you're saying go take mushrooms, you'll get that upgrade. Now be careful, guys, when he's saying this. I've seen the research on that, and you can do that, but they also have, if you go see the proper people, they do have mushrooms in little teeny pill forms that are very, very small amount. It's a very minute amount.
Microdoses.
Exactly, microdose. And you can get the same effect he's talking about by being in a controlled setting with healthy, happy people and a little less controlled little micro amount of mushroom, and you can have that experience with assistance. So if you guys go out there and just eat a bag full of mushrooms, it's crazy.
But Bob,
more than a
Now, Bob,
download.
you've been in the Mandela Effect community, since like 2016.
Yeah.
Do you maybe think that the Matrix and Mandela Effect is really almost exactly the same? It's just different.
In my mind,
generation just names it differently for them.
in my feeling of it, my gut, it's just a different word. I like, that was a truth drop given to us by the Matrix itself, by making the movie The Matrix. You know what I mean? It was like every movie you've ever seen in up to the day of your present fucking life is something you were supposed to have seen within this fucking movie. And it's giving you the information you need. So it's taught you a language. And his generation, it gave him a language to use, and it's an easy language. So when Taj talks to me about it, I'm like, yeah, I know what he's saying because I'm hearing the language. I know exactly because I saw that movie. Besides the movie, but I know the language. The movie taught us language. So for the youth to talk to the older people, it might sound silly. We could do the Matrix. It sounds silly to an old person going, "Shut the fuck up." I used to watch westerns. What is the Matrix?
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. The truth is actually that the movie was based off of reality, not the other way around. It's not like, let's make this story about a Matrix and then somehow it's also reality. No, it's like, this is what reality is. Let's put it in a way where people can understand it into a movie. And so they've been talking about a simulation, a computer simulation for generations. I mean, you can go back to 5,000 years ago. The ancient civilizations, they knew that this was a hologram. And so they proved it to themselves by showing all of these calculations with mathematics, which prove that it's just a computer simulation. Because if there's all of this mathematics and code running through the system, then it's just a computer crunching numbers, just like what our computers are doing right now. And then they had to make a movie out of it to make everyone else explain, but that's literally the age of disclosure, like the age of Aquarius. That is pure disclosure right there. They're showing you what it is.
But the difference between I think the older and the kids are that exactly what you said, but we see it as an intelligent running Matrix.
Yes,
so
100%.
It's intelligently running. It's not just running like a machine that has no soul. It's not just like a conveyor belt. It's not just doing it. It's got an intelligence behind it. So we say God. You guys might say Brahma, or we might have 1,000 different words for God. Dog. What is it? What is God backwards? God. It's the great dog, man. So it's an intelligent running Matrix. Exactly that, though. Same thing.
But here's the thing. See, I do not consider the system that's running the Matrix to be God. That is what people think is God. As far as I know, that's what people call Yahweh or Yeshua or the AI or there's a lot of different words for it. But that would be the demiurge. That's another word. That's a word I was looking for. That's the archonic matrix, meaning that's the part that's trying to trap your soul and keep you recycled. If you think that's God, you will recycle yourself. You will come back because you're like, oh, this is God. Let me come back to God. No. You don't want to reincarnate. You don't want to be recycled. You've already been here enough times. If you're watching this channel, if you're on the stream, you've been here way more times than you need to be. You're supposed to get out.
But I know I like it. I'm down with the recycle thing. I'm totally being recycled. I'm in with it.
That's called Stockholm syndrome.
It is not. I'm having a great time. If you're having a good time with life, why? What do you want to go to the other place? Because the grass is always greener on the other side of the fucking matrix, right? So you get over to the other side of the matrix and you find out it's just as fucking green. I'm like, what? I could have stayed back there.
So
shit.
Right now, you're playing the role of the dude that sold himself out and plugged himself back into the Matrix after he was told that he was in the Matrix.
Yeah. But see, I'm not selling nobody out though. I'm not doing a Judas on nobody.
Yeah.
Judas,
yeah.
It's more of a realization that I'm in it and I'm within it. I'm acknowledge the fact that I'm in it.
I think Brian's talking shit about us.
Brian said the third. That means the other two accounts got blocked. Is that what I'm guessing?
Well, they're always going after his channel. He's smart. He's got backup channels. So if one channel gets taken down, he already has his other channel built up, so people can jump on and find him.
Well,
we're too small. we're too small to have backup channels where people will go to. We're not there yet.
You guys are growing crazy fast. Like I checked a couple weeks ago or whatever, and you were like 3.7 or something. Now you're at 4.4. So
No, dude.
We're
you guys are
it's
hitting the
handsome.
numbers.
It's the handsomeness, we're handsome.
And they're
You're
organic.
looking like
Real
us,
numbers.
But
Is there
there's a
they're coming out of the
there's
media
a-
warehouse.
there's a new show, right? There's a new show on Amazon Prime. It's called Upload. And
Ooh,
when I
that
saw
sounds
the
interesting.
trailer, I thought this show looks gay or something. It doesn't look like something I want to watch. But I was bored, and I actually binged all 10 episodes in one night. But it was kind of interesting because it made me thought about you because it made me thought about the Matrix in a way. Let me tell you why. The concept of this show, Upload, is okay. Right before you die, you might have a choice. You have a choice to just die, take your chances to see if there's a heaven, or you could be uploaded to a virtual world with your mind still attached.
That's crazy.
And the virtual world is depending on how much money you spend on what kind of quality of virtual life you can have. And I was like thinking, is this kind of supposed to be like a pre-Matrix? Like this is where an AI gets started. You start with uploading people's consciousness to a computer system. Then maybe that computer system one day expands to take over the world, like start using humans as energy, kind of like the movie Matrix. Have you heard that show
Exactly.
at all? Have you seen that show called Upload? Anybody?
I have not heard of it, but I've heard of another show called Altered Carbon, which is kind of similar.
Yes, I
where you
watched that
take-
with
where
the spine in the back and
Yeah.
they put in different bodies. The body's just a part.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's weird.
I think that what they're doing is they're trying to condition. See, the way they work, and I'm talking about it's like the people that want to control humanity or whatever.
Yeah.
They program. So they're going to tell people about this idea, and then that one day they're going to actually pitch that idea, and people will actually probably fall for it, and then they will be stuck. See, once you leave, if you leave this place and you upload yourself to another computer, you're stuck in there permanently because you don't have any access to leave. So you could be a trapped soul forever. So don't be stupid. Don't upload your consciousness into something that was created by the government. That is like the most beta blue pill thing you could do. Like you talk about believing in coronavirus. No, if you upload yourself into a government-made computer or like Elon Musk, because that would be like their figurehead.
Correct. Elon Musk.
You're an idiot if you do that. You're not getting your soul back after that.
When I was telling Bob about the show, he's like, it sounds a lot like Tron in a way.
Tron's mine. I like Tron.
Like Tron, you're in a computer. You're like alive, but you're in a computer.
I feel like Tron. I like Tron over Matrix.
Yeah, Tron is exactly how this reality pretty much works, from what I understand. So in Tron, they have a grid, right, which lights up with different sectors of energy. That is the same way that this place works. This reality works. You just can't see it. It's not in our physical range of spectrum of light. But there is actually a grid that lights up just the same way as Tron works.
Yeah, like Tron.
Like what?
I like Tron idea. It's really cool.
Yeah.
We're actually battling in the game. It's
Exactly.
a competition. Yeah. Honey's good for you guys. Honey. Put in your morning coffee. If you have a slight hangover, lots of honey. It's like having a meal on camera. I'm doing it on camera for you guys so I don't interrupt the show. Lots of honey right now. Lots of honey.
I think Bob's past his quarantine days.
Oh, yeah. Quarantine is over. It's been over. I've been out partying.
Yeah, man. This has been lasting forever.
Ow. Yes, it has. But I'm not.
But
It's day 500 now or something.
God damn. Right? We're gonna look at the numerical value behind the days when they see when it's over. Count the days.
That'll be a code in itself.
It'll be a 33 or a 13. It'll be some significant number.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day it'll be over, it also line up with some kind of astrological guarantee. I would put money on it, dude.
I have a prediction to make. Okay, so last night was the Gemini new moon, and the cycle of Gemini. Okay, this is what I was thinking about. I was thinking about this last night when I was like, oh, I'm going on their show tomorrow. I'm going to announce this prediction. This cycle, this next new moon cycle, is when things will start to open up. That's my prediction, because what's going to happen is we are entering a space astrologically where old systems are being ripped apart and being let go of. That's what the Gemini new moon does. So it causes you to let go of old toxic paradigms and ideas and relationships. So I think that's going to be what's going to happen in this next cycle of the moon. Probably before the solstice is my guess. We will have, like, as soon as the solstice hits, that's when we're going to open back up, because that solar energy is going to be coming down on the matrix, and that's going to ignite the economy once again. And then when fall comes back around, it'll hit again and it'll drop again. So that's my prediction right here. You heard it.
Well, yeah, no, I'm with you, because it always happens around. I've already proved it to myself.
Mm-hmm.
It always happens around the moon. Like, leading up to the full moon, I'll get a 100%, 1,000% shift in my eyes. I'll do my three control check. I'll do all my control. I'll check for the certain thumbnails. I always have a control setting I check. Yeah, confirm to me we had a weird ass little minor shift. And then all of a sudden, because right up around the moon time, like right around the full moon, like getting closer to the full moon, when it leads up to it, it gets really hostile too. I mean, I didn't even hear the neighbors fighting. It's kind of hilarious, man. Everybody starts fighting around the full moon.
It's true.
I asked people from the chat, like, if they want to jump on to ask you some questions, because I know you and I we've been on. You've been on this channel like 3-4 times, and I've been on your channel that one Monday night, which was really
do that again. That was really bad.
I want to go on anything up. So I wanted somebody new to come on to, maybe if they have a point of view, a question about the Matrix. So Silly Fan Man, I don't know what your knowledge of what your belief is in the Matrix, but do you have any questions for the Matrix Unveiled about what is the Matrix, or anything you wanted to know?
Yeah. Good morning. And
what's up, man?
You say, is it Tanuj?
Tanuj, yeah.
Tanuj.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I'm Richard.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I don't know anything really about your channel. I'll check it out.
Cool.
I learn everything from Gypsy now, so I just wanted you to know that. But
I'm gonna put his channel on the stream in the chat. I'm gonna put his channel in the chat, so if people want to check it out, it'll be right here. You continue.
And I'm not going to be here long. I want to hear what you all have to say, so everyone always hears what I have to say. But I've been thinking a lot about everything you just mentioned. I've been looking into, Tron and the Matrix and the whole bit. And I do use the analogy that we're like, if it were like a video game and we're Super Mario and the devil or whatever is that Kumba. So he's got a lot of power, but it's like, I don't know, the guy that wrote the game, Super Mario, it's like Tron, where we can talk to that guy and he can alter the game as necessary. So I do see that theory, but also the Matrix thing. I'm thinking that whatever this awakening thing is, this unveiling, the more we get to this higher resonance and the more we realize things, I truly believe whatever the rapture is, I don't know. I think it's like in the Matrix when they unplugged you and you popped out of the game. And I don't believe you can go back into the game once that happens to have your stake like Cypher did. I believe you're out. And you're like, holy crap. Yeah. So I don't understand exactly how all this fits in. I am very spiritually connected. So I do think of whatever you want to call it as God. And I believe in that whole story. I also know the Bible and all that's been corrupted. But there's a feeling you get. So I don't know if I can say this is all just a virtual reality, but then when I start reading into it more, we know we're all made of energy and photons and all that. And I just was making a video when you guys came on about that, where, in the movie Ghost, they can't punch anyone.
Yeah.
They use their mind, and so who's to say we're not avatars? I know that. Yeah. But you're fascinating to listen to. And like anything, I'll take information I like, and if I don't, I won't agree, but I'll still listen.
That's called college. That's what people say. College sucked. Yeah, well, college is about 20% worth. You have to take all these courses to come up with one idea. And like you said, you take all the bullshit. That's why I say I overly recommend college for everybody. You take information, throw a lot of it away, and then once you put the puzzle pieces together, oh, that makes more sense to me now, thanks to what he said. Always listen to the oppositions. Always listen to other people's philosophies, and come up with your own idea. You know, that's what God wants you to do anyway. That's what God wants you to do. He told Jesus that, you know, go fucking learn, man. Go learn shit. Go be a student of life. That's what we're all doing. We're all learning from each other. Flat Earth, round Earth, square apples, Bizarro World, the Matrix,
It's
the differentiation theory, everything.
It all ties in together. They're all just aspects of the puzzle and the information. And somebody just left a pretty interesting comment. We are the dream and the dreamer. So yes, we are the universal consciousness. You are not this body, this ego, this mind. We get associated with this brain, and this brain is like a computer, but we are not the brain. We are the energy field, and that energy field is of one field. It's like you're this individual droplet in an entire ocean. And you're forgetting that you're thinking that you're just that droplet of water when you're actually the entire ocean. So when you die, you remember, oh, I'm the ocean. How could I plug myself back into just the droplet? That doesn't make any sense. I have to separate myself and condense my frequency into an extremely low frequency to become physical, to make it seem that I'm separate. And so when you have an experience, when you have experiences of being that ocean, but you're still in the game, then you start to become very interested in what's going on, and you realize we are the dream and the dreamer, meaning just like you're in a dream last night, you are actually not the body, you're the entire dream. The whole dream is happening in your head. Same thing with this reality. The whole dream is happening inside your head. Everything that you're experiencing is contained within your brain, quote unquote, if that was even real. See the paradigm here? They tell you that you're experiencing everything inside your head through all of the light that you're processing and all the frequencies. It's all being processed in your brain. But then again, the brain isn't real because it's all being processed inside your brain. So it's a mind fuck. It doesn't make any sense because existence is non-existence. So it's a paradigm. It's called a strange loop. You should look up what a strange loop is. It's where there's no beginning or end. It's a constant singularity and compression back to zero. So we're in that 0 point state of constant 1 or 0. That's where the matrix idea comes in. It's either a 1 or a 0. So you're either in a complete expansion or a total neutrality. That's the same thing with the cosmic egg theory. They all fit in together because the cosmic egg theory talks about the complete expansion and then the complete reversion back to a 0 point field. So I hope that made sense.
Well, be careful. We always have to be careful, though. In my eyes, we always got to be careful because we think we are who we are. We think ourselves in God status. We're like the fly on the fucking 747 looking out the window. You don't know you're on a plane. Mm-hmm. So you're seeing the sky. You're seeing the cloud. You're seeing a speed that you can't believe, and you think you're doing it. You think because you're the fly in the airplane. You know, you're moving at that. So you are literally looking out the window going, this is me flying. Right. Thousands of miles up. I'm like a dragon in the air. The plane lands and you go on the other side. As soon as the fly leaves the fucking airplane, he's swatted. How insignificant he was on that airplane. Because he had illusions of grandeur on the airplane, thinking he was like, he didn't know he was on a fucking airplane. It's being driven by something else. It's an entirely different fucking.
That's a good way to say it.
And he was thinking he had his whole fantasy of fucking religion, how he's the dragon, but actually the fly in a fucking 747 staring out the window, thinking he's bigger than he is. So as soon as he got out of the fucking plane, he's killed. So we got to be careful.
Let me ask you this question, and I know you answered this before, but since before we have a lot of new people that has joined the channel now that probably never even heard this question before. So there's a lot of religious people in the chat. There's a lot of religion people believe that you die, you're going to go to heaven, that story. Okay. But what is the average thought of somebody who believes in the Matrix on what would happen when they die? What's your belief behind that?
Well, okay, so first thing I want to say is it's not necessarily a belief. It's not like I believe in the Matrix and I'm like, oh, it's a Matrix. I'm like, no, it's like, okay, if you see the code, you see the code. If you see the Matrix code, you see the Matrix code. Then you're like, okay, it's very obvious it's a computer simulation. So we're simulating our bodies here. But So if you believe in the religious idea, they tell you to go to heaven. Heaven is what? The white light. Now, understand that the white light is the recycling or the reincarnation trap. If you go into the white light where all your ancestors are, all your deceased relatives, all your friends and family, that is the matrix saying, "Come back to me," but you just left. So you're just going to be recycled. You're going to be put into a new body if you're tricked into recycling yourself. So
like a reincarnation.
Yes, reincarnation. I understand a lot of people in the chat, that's not what they want to hear, but I'm just simply delivering the message. And so if you don't want to reincarnate, you better learn how to create your own reality and when you exit, to build your own matrix, because you can build your own matrix. This is an infinite universe. You have the ability to do whatever you want.
I'm still, again, I am someone that's more on the spiritual side, but I'm listening to everything. And the reason I really wanted to definitely hear what you had to say was there are things that happen in this world now besides dreams. There's also visions. Mm-hmm. And I have had lucid dreams.
Yes.
I haven't had the awake visions. My wife has. She's had several where she's awake somewhere and then just sees a whole scene in front of her.
Yeah.
And the very first one, we were out to dinner. This is back, way back in the day when you could go to dinner. Was that like 2 months ago, I think? Remember those days when you could go out to dinner?
Yeah.
I remember those days. But yeah, we were out to dinner for, I think it was an anniversary or something. And she suddenly just got like a white ghost look to her face and said, we have to go. I mean, she was like literally shaking. And I didn't know it was wrong, but I said, okay. So we packed up and we left. And on the way out, on the way home, she told me that something happened when she was sitting there. And literally, like the movie The Matrix, everything turned to code. And when she looked around the room, there were real people and then computer people. Like some of the people in the room turned into the code. And there was a few people that were still like us that didn't change. And it freaked her out so much that she just was almost having a panic attack. And it was a real thing. She saw the whole thing. So there is something to however that manifested that she was able to see it. But she's had other visions that have actually come true. So the fact that she had that one, I pay attention to it. So I really am fascinated on this theory. Because again, at the end of the day, whatever is it? They're all theories. I mean, I can't prove mine any more than you can prove yours or any more than anyone can prove theirs.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. We get on here and we just start talking crazy stuff. Eric shows his butt and then, we figure it out.
Yeah. we put out there what we can put, what's given to us to put out there. There's God gives you breadcrumbs to put out there. I mean, and some things you're just not going to. It's just not going to happen.
And you can't be afraid to talk about it.
We'll give it words and we'll give it fantasy things and fantasy because some things you just. I've been trying to find the answers my entire life, and I found out that there just aren't. Sometimes there's no answer. Sometimes you got to stop asking the question.
Yeah,
and accept the fucking breadcrumb, without and being conscious while you're doing it with sobriety mind and clear headed, without being provoked in some kind of stupid cultic direction and being smart about it.
The same thing that happened with her when she saw that Matrix thing was overwhelming. It was too much. So we'll only get as much information as we can handle.
You can handle.
And if we want all the answers right away, maybe we're not ready for it. Maybe if it says in the Bible, people are going to die just from fear. And that's what they're trying to create. So we get only as much as we can take. Yeah,
I saw a glowing cat at my old house. The cat lives in my backyard. I used to joke about it. It came with the house. I sold the house with the cat. The same with the house. But one night around 2016, when I first woke up and when everything was weird colored, like super colored, I wasn't used to it yet. Bright fluorescence. A freaking ass cat come in my backyard, and this is in the evening time. The damn thing was glowing. I'm not insane. I didn't have no weed yet. I was just getting ready to crack a coldie. I was completely fucking sane-minded when that cat come up glowing. I was like,
you were seeing his energy. Basically.
It looked almost like, here's the weird thing about it. It looked artificial. And that's where it got in my head. The first thing was, it looks like something you'd see in a CGI movie. It came up glowing. But it had a texture to it It was the texture of the animal, kind of what his wife was probably talking about. I caught the texture, which is like it wasn't like it was like a matrix artificial texture. I didn't see the numbers or the weird ass kanji signs coming up and down on anything. I didn't see that shit, but I saw the texture of the cat. And when it come up and compared to its background, compared to the grass it was standing on, it looked placed there and the grass looked naturally there. If it makes any sense to you. The bushes next to the cat looked like they were there. However, the cat looked like it was placed there. You know what I mean? Like in a CGI projection. And I'm looking at it. And I even went over to pet it. And I went over to pet it and it had rolled over on its belly. And this cat doesn't do that. This cat doesn't trust anybody, especially a big guy like me. It never rolls on its back to its belly. I said, this is weird. So I petted the belly, and then it bit me, and it jumped up. I swear to God. I guess you can't touch the cat's belly. I'm not supposed to do that, but it gave me a little nip and then jumped up. But it stayed in the garden. But like your wife said, that's why it doesn't sound crazy to me that you're saying that. Yeah. It doesn't. Other people are laughing at you, right? I go, his wife saw like the movie, the Matrix movie. You know,
I'm so on that, Bob. I've seen, and we both have seen and experienced so many bizarre things.
Yeah,
literally, I have it on video. One day, the entire area here went purple, like purple. Everywhere you looked, everything looked purple. I should put it up on my channel, and. The normal day, I would have like everyone I would talk to, like, oh my God, the whole day was. Nobody cared. Nobody saw it. You know, I've seen planes vanish and birds vanish. We watched a plane that's spraying garbage. You could see through it. So
yeah, I saw that.
Weird shit now. I don't care if people think I'm insane or retarded. What do I care?
No. The one-wing planes. I saw the one-wing plane. I saw the one-wing plane. I saw the no-wing plane. I saw the planes with the wings on it, but it was transparent. You know, like it was like he was like looking up at a what's her name, Wonder Woman's fucking airplane.
Yeah, we had two normies here, and they saw it, and that's what he said. I was like, oh, but then they switched back, like, yeah, they just.
Well, it was a plane. No, that was I was with somebody else with a Mandela effect. We both looked up and I acknowledged it with another human being. Are you seeing one wing on that fucking plane? I had a telescope. I'm not just looking. I got a telescope. I have science equipment. I said I'm looking at one.
No. You were using it, looking at the neighbor taking a shower. Come on.
Actually,
come on.
You could though. You could. It's a pretty good fucking telescope. That's a small hand.
Even with binoculars, we saw a plane, and I had another normie that was here, and we watched this plane with binoculars, and it vanished. It was, of course, spraying, and it vanished, and then it came back. And then it vanished again. And every time it vanished, the spray trail stopped, right? And I turned to this guy and I was like, look, okay, you saw that. You cannot say you didn't see it. And he was like, you're right. And he was looking all freaky. The next day when we were talking about it, I tried to bring it up. He's like, yeah, it was probably just the clouds. No.
Hey, do you think the AI is trying to fuck with me so bad where they don't want us to be together? Because because listen, this was because like yesterday, I could swear to you, my appointment was fucking at 8 a.m. When I made that appointment, I called the wife. I told her 8 a.m. I go down there. No, it's at 11, and they gotta fix this teeth thing. But beyond that, when I reset this show for Saturday, instead of saying 10 a.m., it said it's going to be on 6 p.m. Now it's like the times are way off. And then I see some people in the chat saying they haven't even got notifications that today's show was on. So
dude, you know how the AI is.
And I've had to resubscribe to channels that I was subscribed to forever.
Yeah.
We shift, guys. Now I know I hate saying that word. I hate the fucking word. I hate using the word we shifted. I don't fucking like it. But they had a change that happened. And so I can tell you guys I have controls. And one of my number one controls is, especially like a StreamYard, I come back to my computer and I'm out of it. I have to go all my passwords I'm out of. I have to go all the way back in all my stuff. Those are usually one indication that we had a shift, just one minor indication we had like a change. Then I'll go and I'll look at some thumbnails, particular control thumbnails, and I'll always look at the same ones. And then I'll look at it and there'll be a slight difference.
Yep.
The same person, slight difference. And I go, oh, okay. So now I have two. In archaeology, you have to have 3 separate artifacts in 3 different locations for you to shut down a work site, like a $1 billion work site construction building. And you go to an archaeologist doing a controlled resource management, doing an inspection. If you find 3 separate artifacts, individual in different spots, you have the right to shut things down. So I use 3 sources. If I see 2, I ain't saying shit. I don't like that word anyway. I don't like fucking we had to change. I'm not using it. I hate using it. But if I had 3 separate things changed in one day, confirmed, yeah, we had a slight, we've been having a lot of them
Glitches,
lately.
And so,
And Eric's already confused half the time. He's like, I put this there. I said, I know you did. I saw you put it there. And it ain't there. And things are moving. And Eric's appointments are changing. And he's like, I know, Eric, I was there when you made the appointment, dude. I was sitting right there when you called the people. You said you gave the time. I remember you said you're not crazy. They are.
And on Thursday, my wife was driving saying, we should go back down to this one beach in this other town. And like, remember we went there like 3 times, and I cannot remember that I ever been to this beach. And she goes, yeah, we've been there like 3 times. I go, I don't remember this at all. I mean, it's just like it's gone. Not even.
Yeah,
maybe I recognized it, and we drove down there. It's like I don't recognize this.
Yeah,
Eric reminds me of me when I first got the Mandela effect. And I was recognizing the shifts, not just the Mandela effects, but actual rearranged days. Eric's been going, he's been bumping his head. Like, he's having that confused look. I'm like, yeah, how's it feel, dude? How's that feel? It's a weird day, right?
Well, okay, think about it this way. I have an explanation for why you guys are experiencing this. It's the computer. And so when a computer has too much processing power, or it doesn't have enough processing power, and there's too much energy or too much resources being used in one location, it glitches out. It loses control and it starts to malfunction. So if you're a high energy being, remember I was talking about the grid is around you interdimensionally. So if you're using too much energy, you're draining on the resources of the computer, which is the matrix. And so then the matrix has to shut you down, or it has to reset something because it's glitching out. There's too much energy going through. So that's why you experience glitches.
I have 2 questions for you, Tanush. Or 3, I guess. The first one is how did you get into this room without a hat? Because I was required to get one. So that's the first one.
I don't wear hats. I don't have a hat.
Well, he's wearing headphones, I guess.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, if this is a matrix, I guess one question I have is, do you believe in a creator because somebody had to make the matrix? And second, if this is a matrix, because I've been thinking about this thought, if everything that we've ever been taught is wrong, and all of our history is corrupt, and the Bible's even corrupt, so then I start saying, why are we not questioning the ending? And by that, what I mean is, it doesn't mean that the basic message isn't there, and that, God is everything and we win, and I get that. But the actual ending, I believe there's a variation of this thought where they could have manipulated the ending to make it equal what they want to accomplish, the one world order, the new world order, whatever. And so they're skewing things in the world to go along with the ending that they wrote, King James or whoever wrote it. And the fact that some of the things that were supposed to happen, like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, became buses, and certain things that were supposed to be real turned out to be more metaphorically. So my question then, I guess, is that, I mean, obviously everything's a potential, that this matrix you're talking about is they're writing their ending. And then theoretically, since we're in it and we have as much power, since we're all in the same thing, we can change the ending to the way we want it and get heaven on earth, which is what I feel like I'm trying to do here with my family, and get off of this beast system and grow food and enjoy life and have a community. So that's, I guess, my question. Where do you fall spiritually? And do you feel that we could just completely change this whole world the way that you're saying?
So, okay, here's the thing.
Well, I answered the question about his hat.
Yeah. So there is
I can't look
definitely
any better, so you know.
there is definitely a creator, and the creator's essence lies within everything and everyone. So we are all that creator, and that creator is that infinite consciousness. The creator is consciousness. The creator is what you could call God. And it's just infinite acceptance, infinite intelligence, infinite love, infinite consciousness. It expands outside of this matrix, in this matrix, all throughout this matrix. Everything is created of the creator, but then there are subsections of different conscious beings, different players that exist within different worlds. So if you guys have seen, there's a new Netflix show. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's kind of like a Rick and Morty show where they're taking psychedelics and they're jumping from simulation to simulation to simulation. I actually kind of want to see what it's called because it will help for people that want to watch it. It's very important that people understand what I'm talking about here. Oh, the Midnight Gospel. Okay. So the Midnight Gospel is this show where you can jump from world to world and exit simulation from simulation. And so there's all of these different timelines that exist. If you go into a dream, when you're in a dream, you're in a different timeline. That's a different world, a different simulation that your consciousness jumped from this reality to that reality. And that is the astral space. Of course, there's a veil that shuts off your consciousness so you're not aware of that jump. But what is happening is that you can focus your energy on the timeline that you want. So if the elite, quote unquote, are focusing on the timeline where they're dominating everybody, what they need is, just like in a computer, they need all of the resources, all of the energy to be focused on that one timeline. And then the rest of those timelines start to fade away and dissolve because they don't have enough resources or energy to fuel them. So what you can do, because we're on equal playing fields here, is you can take your energy, forget about their timeline, and focus on your timeline. And anybody else that's trying to bring you to the elite's timeline saying, what about this? What about that? They're actually working for that timeline, whether or not they know it. Mm-hmm. They're trying to fuel your energy into that timeline. They don't know it, though. They're not conscious. They have the Agent Smith virus. They're just not.
That's correct. I like that.
I like that too.
And answered his question perfectly. Yeah, they're playing out their timeline. Mm-hmm. This is their timeline. They're going to play it out all the way. And even within the book, like I know Rick was talking about Revelations. I call Revelations with an S. And these things almost seem like they're not so much as manifested, but created. Mm-hmm. Like, let's create the plague. Also, if you guys can hook me up with a red heifer, let's get the red heifer down the pike. We're also going to need a couple of locusts. You mm-hmm. get a couple of boxes of locusts, set that shit down in fucking Mecca.
I totally believe this. Right? It's too coincidental, and I don't believe in coincidences. They're exactly that. They've got a playbook, like something in a sporting event, and they're like, okay, we're going to run play 16. Everyone get on this page, and we're going to run that play. Yeah. And like you said, the more people that think about it, it's actually helping create that world. And I 100%.
Yeah. I have to know, when did you really started waking up to all this? I mean, what age were you one day like, something is wrong, something has changed? 5 years old?
Probably
really?
When I was younger than that. Like, I was, my third eye, my pineal gland has been open since I was a kid. So I used to see the craziest things when I was a kid, laying in the dark, like insects, like astral insects moving throughout the veil. What you were talking about with the cat, like stuff like that, I would see like stuff like that like all the time. Like energy, like waves of colors moving throughout the sky and throughout my bedroom, and like different beings like watching me while I was sleeping or falling into sleep, and then just insane dreams, just absolutely out of this world, insane dreams where I'm a different character in a different timeline, playing a video game, playing a mission, like doing certain missions, and then I'll come out of the dream and then be debriefed, quote unquote, by the mission team, and then sent back into my body. And then when I wake up, I remember like half of the information because it's so hard to recollect most of the information from the astral space.
I'm sure you probably was telling your parents you're having some weird dreams and some weird thoughts and stuff. What did they think of you?
I did not tell them because I had an intuition that I should not be telling anybody about this information until the time was right. And then the time started to become right just recently, just a couple months ago when I opened my channel up and started sharing. But before then, I wasn't speaking about it, wasn't talking about it. I just knew I was totally different. Not like truth or different, but totally different. Even different from the truthers. Or, you know.
Good, man. Yeah, that's rare, dude.
Yeah.
When I was your age, dude, I was doing panty raids, man. I mean, I was not dreaming about no Matrix, dude. I mean, I was at in the morning time. It was like two girls kissing in my head like moments earlier.
Our Matrix is whatever you watch in the movies. Like somebody wrote Total Recall. I can see where that can kind of be a Matrix, where somebody's messing with your head, putting in dreams in your head, putting in adventures in your head. You don't know what's real and what's fake anymore.
I've seen people take a download. I have seen people take a download. I know Matt from Quantum of Conscious. I like his stuff too. He had mentioned it. I want to make sure names get mentioned. He had mentioned it in some of his stories. It was eerily similar to mine, where I watched somebody take a download. You almost get them to the point where they believe you, and then they do believe you. And then the next thing you know, they have a fart and they do something and they grab a fork for a meal. And the next thing you know, the subject completely changed. There's something different. And then that original subject where you convinced them of that thing is gone. They had it had no effect. After a few minutes, it was gone. Right. They had taken a download. I'm like, this place will always suck you back in. If you are weak-minded and non-spiritually strong, you will be sucked right back in.
I watched it happen on Rose's show last night. She had somebody on, and he took the download right in front of her. It was fascinating. I'm trying to remember what they were talking about, but she brought it up, and he agreed with it the old way. When she told him the new way, he was like, oh, okay. It's like, wait, what? You can't do. It's like, I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
It's irritating sometimes. You're like, and then there's the outside influence. You get the person who either gets the download or you get an outside thing that will stop the conversation. A car, a honking, a dog runs by, anything and everything will stop you with
that. Is the AI.
Yeah.
That right there is the AI trying to balance the frequencies. And Eric was on my channel like a couple weeks ago, and he saw for himself how much the AI was trying to shut my connection. Oh, it was actually absurd. I mean,
it happens here all the time.
All the time. This show.
Yeah.
But that night was it was going in overdrive, like maximum overdrive, Matrix overdrive, right? It was really going Matrix overdrive.
Yeah,
and that's funny you mentioned the sirens, because my wife and I have a whole theory on sirens. It's actually hers, but the thing is it's this whole world, whatever the opposite is of God in this world, whatever you want to call it, it lives on fear. Yes. Everything is about fear. Everything they throw at us, even in the truther community, the stuff they tell us, it's all fear. So what is a siren? Think about that. So you're driving your car, you've got your air conditioning on, you've got your radio on, maybe you're having a conversation, maybe you're on your phone, I don't know. You don't hear a siren of a fire truck coming behind you. You see the lights and you pull over, right?
Yeah. So
what are the sirens for? It's for the people that aren't out on the road, maybe at home. And then all of a sudden you hear this, it's trauma. It's like someone yelling, trauma's happening around you, right? And it gets your heart going and all that. And there's been times, just like you said, we've been having a really in-depth conversation, and then it just lights up with sirens out there. I don't know what they're doing or where they're going, but it shuts down the whole conversation. It's what you're saying. It's AI trying to do it, But I truly believe sirens are nothing more than fear. Because let's say if you're deaf, if you're blind, you'd need the sirens, but then you shouldn't be driving. So what are they really for other than fear?
Yeah, and let me make something clear, because people might think, oh, you probably just had a glitch. When the Matrix on that day, he was talking something normal. Say we're talking about a hat. Nothing would happen. Nothing. But as soon as he started talking about Matrix stuff, that's when it happened. We talk about an orange, nothing. Matrix, everything went crazy. That's why I can't say it's a glitch, because it only happened when we were talking serious.
Yeah.
It's happened when we've talked about God on this channel.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And so
God comes up, it starts to glitch. All of a sudden, the story will change. Something will happen where somebody will just completely erase the entire earlier conversation. If anything to do with a creator or an architect or a God or anyone you want to call a lampshade comes up, glitches,
Mhm.
like galore. Things
Yeah.
start shutting down. Audio stopped working. People are kicked off. People are frozen.
Yep.
Now, I know you have to go soon, but
I'm okay with going a little bit longer because this is pretty
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
okay, we can go a little longer. But tell people you do a show Monday night on what's that radio station called?
Truth Frequency Radio.
Truth Frequency Radio. That's the same channel that Dearth does his show on, correct?
And
So a lot of
Journey-
people might already have
huge-
this channel. So you
huge
do it
channels.
Mondays at 8 p.m. Pacific time, which is. And then
11
sometimes you'll transfer that show into a YouTube live show, correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
Where are you located?
I'm in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yep. What about you?
I'm in Washington. I'm right near these two idiots.
Vietnam. He's in Vietnam.
I'm in Vietnam. Yes,
He's in Vietnam. Yeah.
Vietnam.
Oh, Haskell's in the chat. What's up, Haskell?
Hey, and as far as this whole Matrix thing, I don't exactly know how all this works, but I do know that you can physically create things. And again, I can say crazy things on this channel because I say them all the time. I have witnessed, and there was three other people. My wife made a pen appear. I've seen her say that she wished it would just pour down like biblical rain, and it happened.
Yeah.
I've seen her want to talk to someone and look at her phone, and that person's called. I have seen her say, we don't know a plumber, and then we met one the next day, and then say, it'd be nice if we knew somebody in this community that was a lawyer, and I met one the next day. So it does work. I feel like if we are in the Matrix, and again, I have so many half-made videos. It takes so long to put one of those together, and I have life involved. But there's one on the Matrix, and the whole thing about it is, I feel we're Neo, but we're the early Neo. We're the one that he knows shit's going on, but he still gets hit by the bullets and beat up by the Agent Smith, and we're all trying to become the one that can just stand there and do this and not even look and fight.
Well, that's what I train people to actually do. You can train in this art. It's called energy. It's called
So you're
energy.
Morpheus.
I wouldn't consider myself Morpheus, but what I do is I train aerokinesis and cooperation with the elemental energies. So I have videos on my channel of me working with fire, working with the wind, making the trees activate when I want to, making it rain when I want to, because I know how to work with the Matrix. And so if everybody were to get to that point, we would be realizing who we actually are, how much ability we have in our reality, and we would all be the Neos.
And I can turn pain on and off. I can also, the ringing in my ears, when we talk spiritual, it gets really loud and I can turn it down. I now feel this new thing where I get like a vibration on this one shoulder area whenever I'm talking about something that's really like in depth like this. And again, I can turn that on and off. So I do feel that it's almost like when we got here, however we got here, we bent an antenna. And so now we're just trying to straighten it out and tune into the frequencies that we can't really hear as well anymore.
Exactly.
I can see that. I always think it as about. I do the whole different philosophy. I do the empty basket thing where I think of myself and individuals are favored. I would say the old with the old archaic way of thinking. You're favored by the gods. You're favored at the moment. You're favored by the gods. I always think of it that way. Okay. I always think I'm not doing anything, but I'm asking, hey, can you throw me a bone? And if I'm favored, I'll get that bone the next day. Okay, I love people like, no, we're doing it ourselves. We are the ones manifesting it ourselves.
No.
I always have
to disagree with you because
I always have to tilt my hat. I always have to say, because there's something outside that I'm not doing, and something's favoring me, and also not allowing me to have certain things until a certain time happens. So I'm asking for something immediate, and it's not going to give it to me. And then much later, when I needed it, that's when it came like on a mathematically perfect fucking day when it was required. Now, had it been me manifesting, I wanted it now. But it wasn't me manifesting. It was something else taking a future look at when I'll need the tool. And it moved it to the future. That's not me. I wanted it now. I want it now. Everybody, we're a fast food nation. We want it now.
Right.
Like like Rick was saying, the next day he got it, which is what he needed it. So it was the next day he needed the lawyer. The next day he needed that. But there might be something he wants that won't be given to him, which shows signs of intelligence, till much later. Mm-hmm. And then that's not him. That's him requesting now. And then now it's put in a hold, something smart. Because if Rick wanted it tomorrow. I want it tomorrow. But it's not going to give it to me tomorrow. It's going to wait like 2, 3, almost 5 years before something will manifest for it. Oh, there it is. 3 years later. You know what I'm saying? So that shows to me a little bit of an intelligence. So I always like to say to myself is I'm being favored, and then something is being stored for me down the line.
Time is such a vast question. So what we think is 3 years might have been a minute. I get that. But someone mentioned in the chat or asked, how do you get rid of the ear ringing? And see, I don't try to get rid of it. No. Again, if my thoughts are that I'm hearing the spiritual world, but my tuner's not correct because something's wrong with it. So I'm adjusting it like I do a radio dial, trying to tune into the frequencies to hear it. So the ringing is just that spiritual world, and I think you're always going to hear it. But when I'm talking spiritually or talking to God or whatever, it does get louder. And then other times I just focus on, I don't want to deal with that right now. I'll do something else. Kind of like the whole back pain thing. You can focus your mind to adjust to different things. Like, for instance, in my old life, I used to look at things up really close with the jeweler's loop. And the way you're supposed to do it is you're not supposed to put the loop in and squint this eye closed. It's bad for your eyes. You keep it open. Well, I can focus with one eye, and then this one's completely out of focus and I don't even see it. And so it's your brain that's saying, okay, I want to look through this one, but not this one. Yeah. And I want to feel this pain. No, I don't want to feel this pain. Yeah. I want to hear that ringing louder. No, right now I don't want to hear it louder. So it's more of a switch, a dial. It's not a matter of turning something off any more than you can turn off the sun. You know, that's what I think.
I don't know if this question it was meant for somebody in the chat or you. Somebody wrote, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you feel like Neo? So I don't know if it's for us or someone else in chat.
Good question.
I mean, I'm not going to answer like what he wants me to say, but let me tell you, you can basically do anything you want. There's no limitations to
once we figure it out.
There's no limitations. You said you can't turn off the sun.
Well, I mean, right now, can you? I can't. I mean, my wife made a pen appear. I haven't been able to do that. I keep trying.
Yeah, I can't make $1 million appear. I keep trying, but it don't show up.
There's limits. There's limits to like, okay, so you being able to just manifest. If it's out of greed, it's not going to happen because that's a low frequency. There's a frequency balance. If you're doing it to be powerful, to be controlling, to cause damage to others, no, that's not going to work. When you work with the matrix, it's in total harmony. It's to restore harmony. So if somebody's attacking you and you have the ability to connect to the matrix, you can defend yourself with that ability. But that's not to say somebody who's really wise. Okay, this is the ability. This is why the abilities aren't given to normal folk, because they're stupid and ignorant and they would misuse it. You know how many years it takes for a Buddhist monk to learn levitation? They spend years of their life just meditating to release all the fear, all the anger, all of the hatred before they're light enough from their spirit to levitate and be free of gravity. But then once they do learn how to levitate, do you think they're going to go levitating and flying around like a circus monkey to entertain people, or to make themselves look
glitched?
Yep.
Powerful? No, they've just spent years on it to be peaceful. If they're gonna levitate or work with a storm energy or something like that, they're gonna do it by themselves. They're not gonna show anybody, and they're gonna train a very select few of people that have reached a certain level of understanding in their maturity. And the rest of them, they are not able to do this yet. They're not ready for that kind of mindset.
Well, you got to drink piss too. Remember, you got to drink your morning pee. You guys, if you're a Buddhist practicing magic, you got to drink your morning piss. Now, a lot of people say, what are you talking about, you gross bastard? No, seriously. I actually had a class.
He hears that a lot.
Yeah, in the fantasy class, they said,
well,
what is the one place that they don't have any drugs? They said it was the Buddhist monks way up on the mountaintop. Professor says, bullshit, they do have drugs. They have morning urine because it has your sleeping hormone. When you go to sleep at night, you have a hormone that kicks in. Your serotonin kicks in. Yeah. Exactly. So in the morning, your body rids yourself of that, so you wake up all day. It gets all of it out of your system, so you're wide awake all day. That's why you sleep in the daytime. So all of that fresh fucking right off the tap serotonin comes right out of the tap, man. It's hot.
Only you, Bob. Only you.
It's hot and it's steamy.
Only
and
you.
The Buddhists will drink. I'm serious, guys. I'm dead serious. They'll drink that morning urine.
Dude, you're not torching no more. I'm feeding you food. What are you doing?
You drink that morning urine and you're sedated all over again with serotonin, and you go right back into a meditative because you just doped yourself with your own dope.
I've actually done it before. I wasn't gonna say this. I've done it before. It's not that bad.
You did it?
Yeah, I did it. I did it. I used to do it last year, so I don't do it anymore just because I feel like my diet isn't super clean.
What does it taste like?
Piss.
It tastes like kind of salty-ish water. But the thing was, and first of all, I never drink it warm. You always put it in the refrigerator because you can't drink it warm. That's gross.
You don't want it fresh from the tap? I mean, right off the tap, man. That's just like
it's
like a fine
not
beer
that
with a
bad.
hand on it.
Bob, he doesn't want a golden shower from you.
He doesn't have a hand on it like a beer.
If your diet is extremely clean, like mine was very clean at the time, and you're just really healthy, it basically tastes like water. So
I can believe it, yeah.
I was just like, this is, but like the energy I would get from it was absurd.
Yeah,
you
get
so much more.
You get all them night chemicals, all those dreams you had, all those emotional dreams you had. It's like what they call that? What they call that when they scare kids and they take the adrenochrome. It's your own adrenochrome. Your own. If you had a nightmare, if you had a dream, you had that anxiety when you slept, it produced all those chemicals. So you're basically drinking your dreams. Anything that happened to you in your dreams.
Now, Bob, do you remember that picture?
It's ridiculous.
Do you remember that picture that Dad had a Budweiser horse drinking pee, and that pee, when that horse peed out, it peed out Coors.
It made Coors, yes. Yes, the horse, the Budweiser Clydesdale horse was drinking beer, and then it was pissing out his piss, and it was Coors, yes. The Coors is bored on dating. They got bored on dating, so they're okay. It's fresh.
Oh my
fresh
God.
from the tap.
This show is something else every time, man.
How many people out there in the sidebar are going to get up tomorrow morning and drink your own urine?
I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow, actually.
Let me ask you about this comment from our good friend Synergistic Red, which it's awesome seeing back in the chat. He made a comment earlier. He made a comment earlier I kind of liked. He wrote, so basically some people walk around with cheats to direct a specific timeline. What does he mean by that?
Like a cheat code, I guess.
He's saying you can walk around with codes of the Matrix and basically create your own timeline. If you don't want to experience the New World Order, make a better timeline. You have the ability. You just got to work for it and access it and be dedicated.
Have you done that?
Well, I make money off my YouTube channel and, teaching people this stuff. So that's my timeline right there. That's
okay. You are creating your own. Yeah,
yes, I'm building my own timeline.
Yeah,
and in a way, we're doing it too because I'm doing everything I can to get off of their system. And it's exactly it. Whatever you want to call it, creating your own timeline. Exactly.
Yeah. But if you have a one almighty AI, why would an AI want people to have their own separate matrix? Isn't it like having too many heavens or hells? Like only one heaven, one hell, too many might be too many.
It's not an almighty AI. It's not like that. It's a computer system. So it's a balancing frequency. It has a virus, which is causing it to want to suck energy and steal energy, but it doesn't think like me and you. It doesn't have emotions. It's simply balancing frequencies. So whatever you put into the system is what you get. If you put a bunch of fear and negativity, it's going to give you more fear and negativity, just like a computer. What you input, it gives an output. If you put love, balanced vibrations, high vibrations, abundance, prosperity, peace. Think about the Buddhists. They don't fight anybody. They don't have any wars. They're just sitting there meditating all day because they put love and balanced vibrations into the computer. So that's what they get.
We're saying the same thing they did back 1,000 years ago. We're talking about karma. We're using different words.
Exactly.
Karma.
Yes.
What you
Exactly.
dish out is what you're going to get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
What you dish out is what you're going to get back. If you're a cook and you're dishing out sloppy ass shit, here you go, shit on a shingle, click, move along, next. And then I'll be on the other side one day and you're going to get that same shit on a shingle.
Yes.
Oh, man. Karma, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But
how
it's totally, you can put it into the whole spiritual aspect, because
It is
Yeah.
spiritual.
I learned that if you ask something that's within God's law, God's will, and it comes from a true heart, then it will manifest. It doesn't say it might, it will.
Yeah.
Now, Robert said it might not be in your exact time frame.
Exactly.
But it will happen.
It
And
will
Here's
happen.
the,
If you go
here's
into
the
it
thing
with
with
that knowledge,
manifestation.
even if you don't get it tomorrow or next week,
Yeah.
still continue to do that, and it will work. So
Yeah.
that's exactly create your own reality.
I tested it. I literally tested it. Where my old house, I made videos. I paid the power of my social security number. I was living off anything and everything. I was testing all the conspiracies to see if the financial system was fake. I tested everything. And there was days I was completely broke. I had like 4 days left. I got paid. I had nothing in the house. I wanted a beer. I had nothing. I, of course, go to give me some fucking money, man. I need to make it this week. And then the next day, there was no money. However, let me say this. I'm not fucking lying. However, on the way back, I had enough money to buy a little teeny joint at the pot shop. The next day, no money. And I'm walking back, and I look down on my feet. On the college campus where I used to live right next to, there was what looked like lip balm. And I even put it on camera, like lip balm. And I said, this is, ew, the fucking, it's brand new. I opened the package, and it was dab. Now, I'm not endorsing anything right now, but it was enough dab for like 6-7 days. I didn't need weed. I swear to God, God gave me dab. Out of all the places walking across the campus, so I get back to my house. There is a box. I swear to God, on my fucking life, there was a box of vegetables that was mailed to me from England, from one of my fans from England. I was ranting about being broke. I wish I had money tomorrow. No money showed up. I found dab. And then somebody sent me a whole box full of fucking vegetables, brand new, fresh vegetables,
How long ago
and
was
some
this?
ready to eat meals in the microwave.
You know what I find, Robert? When I want to ask for something, or however you want to say it, like you say, you don't say, oh, I need this, this, and this. I want a pile of money. That's not what you do. You go to God, to the matrix, whatever, and you say, look, these are the things that are troubling my heart right now.
Yeah.
Please help me with them.
Yeah.
The answer isn't the way you want it or I want it. The answer lies with however God decides to do the things that you need. But all you have to do is just tell him, I'm being troubled by this. I mean, he already knows it, but it's nice.
He knows it.
It's just like my wife gets mad. She can't read my mind. Tell how you feel. So you go to God and you say, this is troubling me. Please help me with it. And then weed shows up and food shows up and whatever you needed will show up, but maybe not in the way you thought.
Yeah, it right on cue, man. It was like perfect. I sat down. I said, "This don't happen. This don't happen in the normal world. It don't happen this way." I was fine the rest of the week. I got my check at the end of the week. Everything was back to normal. It was the weirdest. It was only I had to ask for it. I had to be humbled about it. And if I didn't get it, I didn't get mad. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't get mad, but sure enough, everything was there. So I'm like, okay, so you do get what I'm not manifesting. I was requesting.
Correct.
I am respectfully requesting, good sir, if you can throw me a bone. And I always think of the dog that's missing. This isn't my mind. This is only my mind. The dog that's missing in the Last Supper. The dog on the corner. He's like little right-hand corner. He was sitting there in the floor. Now he's not there anymore in the Last Supper photo. He's gone, or the painting. I was thinking that dog looking up at maybe not Yeshua, but God or whatever is in there. Hey, throw me a bone. That dog, throw me a bone. It's the bone dog. Now he's gone. So I'm thinking myself and you guys are like the bone dogs. Now we're like, God, throw us a bone, man. What do you say?
Do you believe that you only deserve just a bone?
Well, that's the thing. Here it is. I'm learning now, going through certain stages of, like, I'm saying poverty, living out of a backpack. I'm learning. So God's given me God is like Pai Mei up there.
Think about that. Now, everybody that's in this room, in this chat, and whatever.
Yeah.
Every one of us has experienced something very potentially negative in our lives. We've all experienced hardships of some kind. I don't care who's here. You've all done it. But we're all here. We all survived. We're all doing fairly well because at least we have enough money and security to be able to be in a room, to have a computer or a phone to be here. So we're all doing fairly well, even if we're still struggling.
Yeah.
And that comes from the inner strength that we realize that, like, what is that saying? God only gives you what you can handle. Well, it's true. So the fact that we're all here and we've overcome these problems in our lives means we can keep doing it. And we don't need to give up and close our businesses and wear a mask in fear and think they're going to come down my driveway and take me out. They're not going to do that. And we just need to, like, just wrap our heads around the fact that we are strong. Yeah. And they beat us down. We've been PTSD since we were born. They beat us down with all of these horrible things that are going to kill us. Yeah. We're this new thing now where we're all going to FEMA camps. We're all getting vaccinated. No. I'm not doing any of that because I refuse, and no one's going to pull me out of here to take me out and do it. And if they want to try, they're going to get my answer, and it's not going to be a good one. Yeah. It's not going to happen. They're cheap, and they don't have the resources to do it, and they don't really even care about us because we represent, like, not even 10% of the population or less. So
even they call they the elite. They're out of. They have no control.
No,
people are giving them too much credit. They're trying, but they have no control. They
write these things, but none of them are laws. They write like they're laws.
They're just humans that can shit and piss, just like Donald Trump goes and takes a dump like everyone else.
I think he sits down though because he's a woman. So.
Yeah, exactly. And the Roth children, they take a dump like everyone else. All the royal families take a shit. I bet it steaks worse than anybody else. They are the finest of beef. So they don't have that power. And besides, my camera just went off, by the way, guys. And my
royals. Don't say that word royals because we are the true royals of.
Goddamn right we are.
That's our castle.
Yeah, it is our castle. It actually is our castle.
I am ready.
I don't care if those people give a shit or not.
I am ready, Robert.
By right, though, by legal. I mean,
where's your sword, Tanush?
It's actually over there. You want to see it?
Get your sword
out with a sword and a hat. That's the way this works.
I got a staff.
It's on, Eric.
I got a staff.
This thing's hella dangerous. I don't like just waving it around, It's a freaking katana. It could slice someone's head off.
Oh, wow.
I have two of them. I mean,
whoa.
Right here.
Everybody had swords. I myself have a sword. I have a staff and a sword. I myself
a sword still in the chat.
What if everybody else in the sidebar have a sword by any chance? I bet you have.
See, Bob doesn't need a sword because Bob's the king of England. He doesn't need it. I have the sword for him.
Well, I have my staff. I have my staff I just got, so I'll grab that. I'm gonna.
What happens if your little henchman betrays you? You don't have a sword. You just got
off with their heads. Off with their heads.
It's more like off with your head if you got a stick and he's got a sword.
Well, let's do this. I got a text. I do have a text. Oh, there's. Oh shit! Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on.
Careful! No one cut any limbs off.
I've got a staff, motherfucker.
And this is how most of the shows end up.
I know. Oh my goodness.
There we go, Bob. Go for it. Love it.
Ooh, it's a small room.
That's awesome.
I do. I have a fence guy coming about 10 minutes. So I do got to wind down a little bit. But so to end it properly, your show on Monday is 8:00 at night on the Truth Radio. I already put that in the chat, and like you told me before, you don't really have a set day that you do a live show. You just do it when you want to.
The live show on the radio is always on Mondays at 11.
That's on Mondays at 8. Yeah.
Yeah, but if I want to feel like going live on YouTube, I'll just do it whenever I want to.
Yeah.
So
you don't have a set day. You just
yeah.
Well, one of these Mondays, since Bob is down, you can have us both on one night.
Definitely.
Pick a Monday while Bob's still down. We'll both jump on your show.
Yeah.
And it's a YouTube show, or what is it that you're on?
It's it's Truth Frequency Radio. So it's like a podcasting station. It goes out to iHeartRadio. It goes out to a lot of places. I'm not sure exactly where, but what I do is I'll do like a dual stream, so I'll go on YouTube as well. TFRlive.com. So check it out. There's a lot of big people on there. Jeranism.
Dirt from Dirt is on there. I think Dirt comes on right before you do.
Yeah, Glowbusters. Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
Wow. Heavy hitting channel.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like overlooked, but whatever.
You're overlooked. We'll bring you up in status, dude. We'll go on there and make you look real good.
Sure. Yeah.
And then on our show coming up Tuesday, we have a guy coming on named Robert Hopkins. He's from the he's from a YouTube channel called Mr. Thrive and Survive. And also Robert Hopkins also has his own webpage called Mr. Thrive and Flat Earth Lunacy. So we're going to be talking to him about his beliefs on flat Earth and why he believes that the Earth is flat. So if any of you are interested in a flat Earth topic on why the belief, is it real, is it not? So he'll be on Tuesday. So that's going to be exciting. Yeah. So Bob, are you going on this weekend by any chance?
Oh, me? Yeah. I was on last night. I might go on tonight. Maybe not. I am stocked up on marijuana, so I could definitely go on. And I do have beer, so yeah, I'm pretty stocked. I might go on tonight.
He's like the late night Owen. I said that on his channel last night.
I just
like talking about things. Next thing you know, it's like God's ass or something, and he's just going.
I do it for the people getting off drugs. I do it because they're listening. They're not even watching. They listen. I had people like, I just listen to you in the kitchen while I'm doing my dishes. I don't see you. And I'm going through detox. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. If I'm your little freaking opiate, that's fine. I'll do an hour for you. That makes
so what am I going to get you guys to the farm? I know we're going to that flat Earth meeting.
Yes.
What do you guys?
You know what, Eric? We're gonna go. We're gonna eventually head over your place for a steak. Yeah.
Yeah, well, now I don't think I need to because now I know that you eat dog cookies and drink piss. So it's like, I'll probably just.
And people in chat, Silly Fan Man, of course, you guys mostly all know him, but just in case you don't, this is his YouTube page. He does a lot of awesome, cool little videos, 3-minute to 10-minute videos. He puts some music and he does a really cool small little like documentary in a small little video, which is fun always. And sometimes you started to do a couple live shows, but your main thing on your channel is just those little video clips, correct, Silly?
Yeah, I just like talking about my thoughts, and then I come back and then I go online and try to find memes or things in the news that go along with what I've been thinking. Yeah. And lately at the end, I've been putting together little musical montages, which seem to be popular. So I might even just pull some of those and just make those separate little videos. I've done it once. I might do it again. But thanks for promoting me. I appreciate it.
And I'll put back in the chat the Matrix Unveiled channel right here. If you haven't been to this channel, watch it. It's interesting, and he teaches you how to, use the Matrix, like make things move and stuff. So he had a lot of great videos. Come and watch his channel. And anything else you guys want to say right before we leave?
Well, yeah, I was gonna. Oh shit! No, never mind. It's glitching me off. I'm getting glitched. I'm off. I'm glitched. No, I was gonna tell you guys about the Eric. Remember I mentioned just real quick that the B-29, the way it used to look, it was all green, drab green, looked like a B-17 but on steroids. But now it looks like a thing from Buck Rogers. Now, remember there was an article I told you about there. Right now they're comparing George Lucas's focused idea of the Millennium Falcon, looking out of the Millennium Falcon, from the driver's seat. it's identical to the modern day B-29. So how the hell back in our time did he have a vision of like an inside of a B-29? Because it's before the change. You see what I'm saying? Now the B-29 never used to have that big open weird ass window like you would see in the Millennium Falcon looking out. If you guys look at the cockpit of a B-29 looking out, where the pilot seat is, and you look at the Millennium Falcon seat from the same angle, they're identical 100%. They're identical. They're like I guess he got inspired by the B-29, but the modern one, the new one. For me, it's a Mandela effect version. So how the hell did he see the B-29 the way it would be now, but back in our time over there when it was a regular drab green, it didn't look like that? You guys see what I'm saying?
Well, Bob, let's take that topic and let's do that topic for Monday. We'll talk on the show. We'll talk about the airplane, and we'll get some information. So maybe some man can find some information on that too. Maybe we can all share information on that on a Monday topic.
Well, yeah, because they even got a computerized turret. It goes that computerized turret in World War II, which they did not have. Turing invented that much later or earlier, but it wasn't a computerized turret. And then of course the Millennium Falcon, they also have a computerized turret which goes. It's the same exact concept.
What does it do?
yeah. And we're gonna talk. We'll talk about that Monday. So I am going to end this because, like I said, I got a fence guy. We got to put a fence up.
Oh, that's right.
A gate because we got a new dog, and the dog likes to test me and run away. The dog likes to run away from me and like testing my patience, like run underneath. Then he runs underneath the car, and I can't get her out. So I gotta get a front gate up.
Yeah, it does.
And the reason I don't have a front gate is because Bob took a shit one day. He blew up my septic tank, and I had to get it replaced.
Yeah, I was backed up from a chili eating contest. I blew up.
No way.
So he totally fucked that up. So all right, guys, I want to thank the Matrix and Veal for jumping on, and then you and I could chat maybe on a Monday. Both Bob and I both come on the show.
Definitely,
it was a pleasure meeting you, Tanuj. I can't wait.
Thank you very much for being on here.
Yes. All right, guys, I'll see you guys all later.
All right.